Just 7 days away from Election Day, and as we head down the home stretch, it sure feels like despite all the madness that's ensued, we are right back where we began.
Yeah, Donald Trump is yelling about Hillary Clinton's emails and refusing to release his tax returns, while Clinton is still trying to change a public perception of mistrust and slam Trump for his treatment of women.
And we're now joined by KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryan. And Dave, new major development today with the release of an ABC poll that showed a staggering 13-point change in just 1 week's time.
Right. There's some questions about, the 13 points, but it showed that things are getting closer. And other polls today have shown the same thing. That poll now shows Donald Trump leading Hillary Clinton by 1 point nationally, within the margin of error, but more evidence that the race is getting closer and closer as Election Day draws near. A week before the election, Hillary Clinton is still trying to change the subject from the FBI emails controversy. And she's traveling this week without her top aide, Huma Abedin, whose emails are ground zero in the latest implosion. Clinton's attempting to get things focused back on Donald Trump, attacking him for his attitude toward women.
He sure has spent a lot of time demeaning, degrading, insulting, and assaulting women.
Campaigning in Florida on Tuesday and appealing to Latina voters, Clinton was accompanied by former Miss Universe, Alicia Machado, who Trump called Miss Piggy 2 decades ago for gaining weight.
He does not respect women. He just judges us on our looks. He thinks he can do whatever he wants and get away with it.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump was stumping for votes in Pennsylvania, a state where the numbers show the Democrats leading, and he was appealing to college-educated Republican women in Valley Forge, a more soft-spoken and presidential Donald Trump.
When we win on November 8th, and elect a Republican Congress, we will be able to immediately repeal and replace Obamacare.
And Trump has the momentum in the polls now, too, having cut Hillary Clinton's lead in half in the CNN poll of polls from 8% to 4% during the past week. And in a shock to some observers, Trump is actually staying on message this week.
To accomplish our goals, we must cut our ties with the small, bitter, petty politics of the past.
The Trump campaign is now embarking on a blue state blitz, talking about spending millions of dollars on TV ads in states like Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, where recent polls show Clinton in the lead. And the Clinton campaign is fighting to hang on to the blue states, running new ads in Virginia, Michigan, Colorado, and New Mexico. In one of the new ads, Trump's own words are used against him.
Grab him by the and when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
On Tuesday night, Clinton got a roaring reception from her supporters in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and told them their state is the key to winning the White House next week.
I am sick and tired of the negative, dark, divisive, dangerous vision and behavior of people who support Donald Trump. It is time for us to say no. We are not going backwards. We're going forward into a brighter future.
Trump even went so far as to urge Wisconsin voters who are now having second thoughts after they voted early for Clinton to change their vote.
This is a message for any Democratic voter who have already cast their ballots for Hillary Clinton and who are having a bad case of buyer's remorse. You can change your vote to Donald Trump will make America great again, okay?
But Trump is still facing resistance from some within his own party. Ohio Governor John Kasich says he wrote in John McCain for president, even while he voted for the rest of the GOP ticket in his state. And House Speaker Paul Ryan told Fox News he voted for Trump while never mentioning his name and sitting in front of a poster for a GOP Senate candidate.
I am supporting our entire Republican ticket. I have been all along. What my focus, which has not changed at all, my focus personally right now is saving our House majority.
Now, tonight, the New York Times has raised one more problem for the Clinton campaign to worry about: lower turnout among African-American voters at early voting locations, most prominently in two crucial battleground states. North Carolina down 16% and Florida down 10% from 4 years ago. And that could be a big problem for the Democrats in some of the key battleground states.
Yeah, Dave, let's talk about that a little bit more. The lower turnout for African Americans. What is causing that, and what's the effect of the campaign potentially?
It's been a worry for Democrats for a while, and I'll tell you why. A couple of things are causing it. First of all, in North Carolina, where the election boards are dominated by Republicans, the Times reports a federal court accused those election boards of an almost surgical assault on black turnout, slashing early voting sites in African-American neighborhoods. But beyond that, Democrats have been worried all along that turnout in black districts would fall off after the huge outpouring in 2008 and 2012 for Barack Obama. Clinton will certainly win African-American votes by a huge margin. But if the turnout drops, that huge margin may not be enough to win states like the two we mentioned, and Ohio, another state which cut back on its early voting program. Jeff?